Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a different video than what I usually do because I decided that I think a day in my life is boring format now. And I have had a new hobby recently. So I was like, let's talk about this new hobby. And that hobby is reading. I have been reading so much more than I have probably in the last 3-4 years, which is a great thing because I actually forgot how much I love reading until I finally picked up a book and I was like, rediscovered this about myself. So there's actually like three books, out of which one I have just started reading. So I'm going to talk about these three books. And then there are like two special mention books from the same author because she just absolutely always deserves to get that extra shout out. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first book is this book called Unknown City by Amitabh Bakshi. This is a book that I think I have like spoken about before on like my Instagram. So if you're following me there, shout out to you guys because you guys are the real OGs. But yeah, I actually read this book because a friend recommended it to me. My best friend Joshi read this book because her father recommended it to her, and I was just like, okay, it'll be fun. And it was actually really interesting because it's basically about this guy who is like talking about his like like all of the relationships that he's been in all his life, and he's basically like analyzing and picking it apart because he's kind of revisiting his old self and trying to figure out why his relationships ended, or like why certain things panned out in a certain way. And it's a fun perspective, and it's like a kind of like a light read. It's not so heavy and intense. And yeah, like I just thought that it's a great little read to have, especially I feel like if you're traveling and stuff, because this is a book that I took when I went for Sakshi's engagement, and I had this with me, and it was a great way to like kill time. Also, it was quite refreshing because it's different to kind of get like a man's perspective, especially when he feel like he's in this like I know better now phase, especially regarding relationships. So yeah, if you're interested in something like that, go for it, pick up this book. I would rate this 8.5 out of 10, and I'm just going to read the back page of it. As I wrote this book, it became clear to me that understanding Supriya was important, not just to answer the question of why she dumped me, although that was undoubtedly important, but also because, like many men, I have felt that it isn't easy to fully decipher women's minds. And like some men, I have felt that the reason for this is our own, men's own conditioning that throws a dark shadow over precisely that field, the field of women's subjectivity, which should be the most brightly illuminated. So, yeah. The next book is a book that many of you might already know about, and it's called Tuesdays with Maury. When I tell you the way this book made me ugly cry, it's not even a joke, because it's not that there was like a mind boggling plot twist that just like breaks your heart or anything like that. The entire premise of this book, you know how it's going to end, you know what you're like reading through, and you know what the last few chapters are going to be about. But still, only towards the end I started tearing up because it felt like I was following along this journey of a real person who was like going through what he was going through, and then like finally kind of the end basically sums up what the entire book is about. And I just like, I don't know, for me it was very refreshing because I feel like where I am in life right now, I really needed like a breather like this one, because this is not a fiction story, it's a real life story. This person actually exists. Maury is actually exists. The writer has like documented accounts of this person. And yeah, it was just such a wholesome, heartfelt account. It's very rare when people who are on their deathbeds think about life like this. And it was just very like eye-opening for me that like what is really important in life, like what really matters to me. And so this is a 10 out of 10 book which I would recommend everyone to read, because it's practically like, it genuinely feels like therapy. This entire book feels like you're sitting with your therapist in their clinic and you're just like listening and sharing about life, and you're asking the hard questions, you're asking the really easy, dumb, silly, irrelevant questions, and it's just very refreshing. There is no level of judgment. It's just a person who is documenting their professor's life, and beautiful, so wholesome. I'm gonna read the back page of this book now. Maybe it was a grandparent, a teacher, or a colleague, someone older, patient, and wise, who understood you when you were young and impassioned, helped you to see the world as a more profound place, and gave you sound advice to guide your way through it. For Mitch Albom, it was Maury Schwartz, the college professor who had taught him nearly 20 years before. Perhaps, like Mitch, you lost track of this mentor as the years passed, the insights faded, and the world seemed colder. Wouldn't you like to see that person again? To ask the bigger questions that still haunt you and receive wisdom for your busy life the way you once did when you were younger? Mitch Albom got that second chance, rediscovering Maury in the last months of the older man's life. Their rekindled relationship turned into one final class, Lessons in How to Live. Tuesdays with Maury is a magical chronicle of their time together. Such a wholesome book, you guys. So yeah, this is the second book. This next book is about, like, I just kind of started reading it, so I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but from what I know, it's about like celebrating like female friendships and the love between like your girls and you, which is, I mean, more relevant in my life now than it has ever been. And so I'm just really excited to read this book, and it's called Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is also another very popular book. I think a lot of you might know about it or might have read it, and I'm really excited to, you know, progress in this. I think I've reached like 20-21 pages probably. I've read only that much, so I'm yet to like really deep dive into this world of this book. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And if you guys have any other recommendations that you might think would, like, you know, like satisfy my book reader mind, then please feel free to comment down below, and stay tuned for the next bit, which is the special mentions. And now for the special mentions. So I genuinely, when it comes to this particular author, I cannot pick which one of her books is my favorite, because I just feel like if I pick one, it doesn't do enough justice to the other one, because she is just brilliant. When I say that I am so glad that I came across her because of another best friend of mine, which is Shivani, I owe you my entire life, because you have like brought me into this world of this writer, and I just can never thank you enough for it. But it's basically these two books by Elif Shafak. She has so easily become my favorite author, my favorite novelist. I love the premise of her books. I love the plots. I love the storylines. I just love everything. And she seems like a girly who loves love, and like that's literally me. So so like I just love her, and I can't explain to you in like enough words how much I like appreciate that I have read her books, and that she, like, her stories are a part of my life. So the 40 Rules of Love is a book that you should like not even think twice about. Just pick it up. If you see it, just pick it up. All of her other books are amazing. I haven't read more than these two books. She has a lot of them, but all of her books are on like my to be read list. So yeah, and this book, just pick it up. It's about soulmates. It's about love that is not necessarily romantic, but it's so deep and so philosophical and so beautiful. And the way that the story is will just like, it'll make you ugly cry, it'll make you like laugh to the content of your heart, and it's just amazing. So if you ever just randomly see this book, consider it a sign and pick it up. Buy it, borrow it. Don't steal it, because that's unethical. But if you're stealing it from a friend, then ask them and steal it. But yeah, like, you should definitely read this book. And then this book is another one of her books, which is just amazing. She is a Turkish writer basically, and like, so a lot of like, from what I know, like both of these books are basically set in like like they're religious, but like it highlights her culture a lot, which I just find really amazing. And so this is literally called The Bastard of Istanbul. It's set in Istanbul in a, I'm not sure like how long ago it's set, but it's basically like set in Istanbul. It's in like modern day Istanbul pretty much, and it's just amazing. This book is about like family, and it's about finding like lost roots of where you come from, and like rediscovering your own identity, and just like, you know, like being pushed into this entire new world that you know nothing about but are so curious to learn about. And you find there's so many like family like dynamics that this book explores. There's like this, like, you know, it's very matriarchal, because in its own sense it's like all about like there are like just mainly women characters, mainly female characters, and just again I would never not recommend you to not read like an Elif Shafak book. So if you see this, pick it up, or at least like give it a chance. Like at least read like the first 2 or 3 chapters, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And so this is The Bastard of Istanbul, and just, I mean, there is a reason that I left these books for like the special mentions, because these books are way too special. I've read this book almost like 4 or 5 years ago. I still remember the story, I still remember the characters, the way the plot twist is put across, the way the premise is set, the way like the environment, the atmosphere, the cityscape, just everything about this is beautifully heartbreaking. And I feel like if you're gonna read fiction, just read this. Like, do it, because it's such a refreshing perspective. Usually fiction is very rom-com oriented, or it's very like science fiction, or it's very like post-apocalyptic, and this is just like so real in its like storytelling. It's so like, you know, you believe that the characters are actual people that you could possibly meet if you knew their like postal addresses. And I think that for me is, it's like a big thing when I read books, because usually I don't relate to a lot of media that I kind of like, I find like, you know, just like unreal or like surreal almost. But this has stuck with me 5 years and counting, and I think this is a book that I'm going to pass to my kids 100%. So like, yeah, read this. I'm gonna read the back page of this, and then I'm gonna read the back page of the 40 Rules of Love, because this kind of is the highlight of this video, the special mentions bit actually today, because yeah, just this book has been on my mind a lot. This book I've read twice already. I will probably in like a different chapter of my life at some point pick this up again and read it from this like from the beginning. But yeah, I will read the back of The Bastard of Istanbul. So it says, one rainy afternoon in Istanbul, a 19-year-old unmarried woman walks into a doctor's surgery. I need to have an abortion, she announces. 20 years later, Asya Kazanki lives with her extended family in Istanbul. All the Kazanki men die in their early 40s, victims of the mysterious family curse, so it is a house of women. Among them are Asya's beautiful, rebellious mother, her clairvoyant aunt, and their hopelessly hypochondriac sister. Into the midst of this madhouse comes Asya's feisty American cousin, and she's bringing long-hidden family secrets connected with Turkey's turbulent past in her wake. And yeah, sorry, take a second. But yeah, this is like, the back of this doesn't do it justice, guys. Trust me, just pick it up. And then the back of the 40 Rules of Love. Discover the 40 Rules of Love. Ella Rubinstein has a husband, 3 teenage children, and a pleasant home. Everything that should make her confident and fulfilled. Yet there is an emptiness at the heart of Ella's life, an emptiness once filled by love. So when Ella reads a manuscript about the 13th century Sufi poet Rumi and Shabs of Tabriz and his 40 Rules of Life and Love, she is shocked out of herself. Turning her back on her family, she embarks on a journey to meet the mysterious author of this work. It is a quest infused with Sufi mysticism and verse, taking Ella and us into an exotic world where faith and love are heartbreakingly explored. Guys, this just reading this gave me goosebumps. Okay, I love and like it's just so yeah. These are my special mention books, and that's it for today's video. So let me know if you like stuff like this, because I'm really trying to like broaden the scope of what I post on YouTube, and your suggestions, if nothing, will at least help me figure out what I can do next. So yeah, if you like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, help your girl out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.